Hey there guys, it's Paul Archer from jonesguitar.com, and I'm getting more and more amazed by how awesome cheap quadcopters have become lately. Xiaomi has recently released a very low budget drone dedicated to the beginner user. This is probably a response to the very cool Rise DJI Tello. By the way, I'll be comparing these two babies in a future video pretty soon, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to be sure you'll see that video. The name of today's drone is MItu. Xiaomi MItu, and for the price of around $70, it is going to be the absolute best camera drone you can buy. Period. Literally, if your budget is about $70 plus, just go in the description, use the coupon code and get it. This is what I would recommend to any good friend of mine. The box it comes in is very compact and cute looking. The first sight is a very naked drone that looks like you have to build it yourself. I can immediately tell that this is a high quality product, judging by the type of plastic used and the overall well thought design. We'll get back on the drone in a second. In the box there's this user manual, a round cap battery that's 920 mAh, which is a pretty good number for a drone so small. It can stay in the air for about 10 minutes, which is not bad at all. I strongly recommend you get this docking charger package that comes with 2 additional batteries. You can order it from the same place you can get the MItu, so you'll end up with 3 batteries and a fast charger. There are also carrying cases for the MItu that will protect your drone very well, especially when going on a trip. In the package, there's also 4 propeller guards that will make things less scary when flying inside, and 6 propellers, with 2 being the spare ones. This is a short charging cable that doubles as a USB transfer cable. Yes, finally a drone that has internal storage. It comes with 3 GB of internal storage without the need to buy a separate microSD, because it saves videos directly in the storage and not on your phone. It doesn't have skipping frames issues or video lag like most others do. DJI Tello. Mounting the propellers is very easy because they are marked with color depending on where they fit. Then you add the battery on top and you have a complete drone in your hands. I didn't even notice at first how soft and good quality the landing legs feel. It's a very grippy and satisfying to press rubber that I would like to start chewing for some reason. In the front of the drone there is apparently 2 cameras, but in fact one is an AR sensor for a game that you can play with another friend who has another MItu drone. Unfortunately I haven't tested it because I only have one, but this might actually be quite fun. On the bottom there's the actual 720p camera, but we'll see the pictures and video from it in a moment, so bear with me. These holes in the front and back are also augmented reality sensors for the battle mode I mentioned. There seems to be a lot of tech inside for such a cheap drone, and I'm not even done yet. At the bottom there's probably the most important piece of technology on this quadcopter. A sonar sensor that can tell the drone how far it is relative to the ground. And just like the Tello, it also has a tiny camera on the bottom to take pictures of the ground and maintain its position. There are other nice design touches Xiaomi has implemented on the drone, like cooling holes on each arm and a very easy to use mounting system for the prop guards. To get a feel about how big the drone is, it's very comparable to the DJI Tello that I've reviewed over here. I'm not going to compare the two now, but considering even the brushed motors are the same size, there's obviously a strong resemblance. Now enough with the specs and boring part, let's get this thing flying. The first test is inside. This thing is rock solid inside thanks to all the sensors at the bottom. You won't have any problem flying it in the house, especially with the prop guards on. If I had this back in my day when I was learning the basics of flying a drone, it would have made things so much easier, because it simply stays in place. You can literally look at it sitting there while you're drinking your coffee. When I took it outside, it behaved just as solid as inside, even though there was a little bit of wind. Just as with any other drone this size, I saw it struggling with stronger gusts of wind, but overall it maintained its position very well, a feature I wouldn't have imagined possible a year ago at this price. Let's now see what the camera can do. This is me sliding awkwardly in front of the drone camera with my sun face on. As you can see, the image is not stabilized, but because the drone itself flies pretty stable, the image ends up to be quite good. There is a little bit of jello effect here and there, but it's not present every time. When moving the drone in front, the camera angle changes a bit, so be aware of that fact. Sudden stops are also not so smooth either. But overall, the camera quality is absolutely the best I've tested so far in my life at this price. This is the footage from another 720p cheap drone on the screen right now, so you can see why I'm so impressed. The selfie mode video is very good quality, but I do recommend you don't move it too abruptly. The footage inside seems to be super stable, mostly because there's no wind or sudden movements. The drone is initially limited to about 5 meters above the ground, but if you raise this limitation, you can go much higher. Just keep in mind that if you go over 15 meters in height, the bottom sensors will not work properly. Here I did the stress test to see how well the camera handles fast movements. But this is not something you'd actually record for real-life footage. Here's some low-light footage next to a lake I decided might be cool to capture. The thing is, in low-light conditions, both the Tello and the Xiaomi MItu will have a hard time detecting the ground properly. There is some noise showing up in low light, but considering this should be used during daytime anyway, there's no big issue with it. The drone takes 1600 by 1200 pixels still photos in 4:3 aspect ratio. They are good quality, although they seem a little bit blown out of color. They can be later improved with some filters or color adjustments. You can also take 16:9 photos, but they are lower resolution and therefore a little bit lower quality. If you want to download the original images and the footage presented here, please go in the description and go on the dozgator.com article where I have a full review of the Xiaomi MItu and scroll down to download the materials. There's also print screens with the additional settings and function of the drone, and at the end, a short essential guide for how to pilot your first drone without crashing. Coming back to a feature of the Xiaomi MItu that I am very happy about, the 3GB internal storage that will allow you to easily transfer files to your computer without having to record them in your phone and from there to your PC. This makes things much more simple and the video is free of any interruptions. The Xiaomi MItu is definitely my favorite drone under $80. And I'm still amazed by the amount of technology embedded in such a small device. If you have kids that like to play together or with their friends, getting 2 of these with a coupon in the description will make them absolutely love you, especially considering the awesome augmented reality game where they can virtually shoot each other's drones, but without actually damaging anything. It's not only a toy drone, I consider it to be quite a capable selfie drone for adults too, and you can take some very cool footage if you get used to flying it. The height limit is 25 meters, but even with this limitation, posting drone pictures of your favorite places on Instagram will make you stand out for sure. Its compact size and stability make it very trustworthy and necessary travel companion in your journeys, or even to try in your local park. It's heaps of fun to fly and there's really no better drone at this price. If you're not yet convinced, check the article down in the description to see more information about the Xiaomi MItu and what it can actually do, or you can subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and wait for my comparison of the Xiaomi MItu and the DJI Tello over here. Well, the Rise Tello actually. Please leave a comment down below and tell me what you would use this drone for. See ya later, alligator!
See you later, alligator. After wild crocodile. See you later, alligator. After wild crocodile. Can't you see you're in my way now? Don't you know you fit my style?